Discipline turns chaos into power. Listen now. You are not merely a spectator in the theater of your life. You are the conductor standing at the podium while the orchestra of circumstance swells and surges like a tempest. Chaos is not an enemy to fear. It is a raw material you can shape with your will, a wild forest you can prune into a corridor that leads to power. The moment you resolve that your life will be governed, not by chance, but by deliberate, precise design, you unlock a force that organizes rivers of energy into a single, unstoppable stream. You who are listening can feel the tremor of opportunity in the air, the tremor that signals the surfacing of your own order beneath the surface of confusion. This is not a catechism or a philosophy taught in a hall. This is a practical revelation you can test with every breath and every decision you make from dawn to darkness. Discipline does not demand that the world change first. It demands that you assume the posture of one who will shape the world from the inside out. You begin with a definite purpose, not as a vague wish, but as a beacon you can point toward with unwavering accuracy. This is your lighthouse in a fog of distractions. It stands tall and immovable as a mountain. And when you set your definite purpose, you do not simply declare a destination. You declare a new gravity for your days. Your mornings tilt toward this gravity, your evenings bow back to it, your conversations, your reading, your work, your rest, everything becomes a lever that lifts you toward that one fixed point. The definite purpose is the compass, the North Star, the unmoved axis around which the entire life engine rotates. Without it, effort dissolves into drift. With it, every action becomes a rung on a ladder that reaches through the ceiling of your current limits. And yet, a lone traveler with a compass travels only so far. You need the mastermind, not as a club, not as a symbol, but as a field of force that magnifies your effort. The mastermind is the magnet that draws like-minded energies into one attractive field. It is the invisible current that turns your isolated sparks into a coherent blaze. You assemble those willing to think with you, to challenge you, to hold you accountable to the standard you have set for yourself. The mastermind is not about control. It is about resonance, where your energy harmonizes with others who share your solemn pledge to ascend. In that resonance, you discover a truth often underestimated. Your capability is not a fixed quantity. It is a function of the quality of your associations. The mastermind multiplies your momentum. It cuts years from your learning curve. It accelerates your capacity to solve problems that would have defeated you alone. It is the field in which your ideas are stressed, tested, sharpened, expanded, and launched into reality. But the path of power remains a path of intimate discipline, autosuggestion. The sacred inner ritual you perform daily rewires your inner weather so that the storm outside does not dictate your mood and choices. Autosuggestion is not to be misunderstood as wishful thinking. It is a deliberate programming of your subconscious mind. When you repeat a truth until it becomes your automatic response, you are not engaging in a crude pep talk. You are building a neura architecture that compels your feet to walk in the direction your conscious mind has already chosen. You stand at the edge of your day and speak to yourself with a calm, confident cadence. I am capable. I am persistent. I am moving toward my definite purpose. These phrases are not mere comfort. They are molecules you assemble into your character, into your daily behavior patterns so tightly that it becomes second nature to act in alignment with your deepest intention. Autosuggestion is the quiet furnace that treats your beliefs, makes them durable against wear and doubt, and ensures that your thoughts, when they arise in the night of your mind, are not hollow echoes, but seeds that will germinate into precise actions. Faith accompanies this discipline as a living force rather than a pious sentiment. Faith is the conviction that your purpose is reasonable, that the future will yield to your constant inquiry, and that your energy is capable of bending the shape of reality to fit your intent. Faith do not blind you to obstacles. It sharpens your eye to opportunities that others miss because they quit too soon. It is the nerve that keeps you standing at the edge of the unknown, the steady flame that refuses to die when the winds of doubt rise. Faith is a practical force because it sustains your will to press forward when the plan has not yet fully revealed every twist and turn of the road ahead. It is the quiet assurance that the next step, taken with discipline, will be the right step, even if you cannot glimpse the entire staircase at once. Persistence is the hammer you wield each day, the hammer that shapes the raw ore of circumstances into something more enduring. Persistence is not stubbornness for its own sake. It is the refusal to abandon the work you are building because results appear slow or the path is rough. Persistence is the daily friction that polishes the blade of your life until the edge can slice through resistance with deliberate, anticipatory force. It is the means by which you convert temporary discomfort into permanent advantage. When fatigue gnaws at the edges of your resolve, you do not pretend the discomfort does not exist. You bring more discipline to bear, one more rep, one more page, one more phone call, one more quiet conversation with yourself to reset your resolve. Persistence is the antidote to the illusion of inevitability, the mistaken belief that some outcomes arrive by luck rather than by repeated, precise, faithful action. Imagination is the next propulsion in your ascent, the laboratory of possibility where your definite purpose is sketched in color and texture before it becomes a plan. Imagination is not the escape of a dreamer. It is the architect's blueprint you consult before you lay a single brick of your reality. It is the canvas where you paint scenarios that test your decisions and reveal the hidden pathways to your goal. Imagination dares you to conceive not only what you could achieve, but how you could orchestrate the conditions that would enable others to contribute to your success. It allows you to see your life as a draft ready to be revised, a draft you refine with the discipline of experimentation, with the humility to test ideas against reality, and the audacity to pursue the ones that align with your definite purpose. The imagination that is disciplined, that plays long games with you, that refuses to settle for the first convenient outcome, becomes the engine that powers your progress. When the visible path runs dry, organized planning follows as the frictionless conduit through which imagination is translated into motion. Organized planning is the map that guides your conscious intention into the autopilot of daily action. It is the architecture of your forward motion, a plan that respects the laws of your mind and the physics of your time. It is not a rigid schedule that binds your life into a cage. It is a dynamic, living framework you refine as you learn, adjust, and observe. In its best form, organized planning is a conversation between your conscious aims and the feedback of reality. It is the art of laying out a sequence of steps that reduces unnecessary decision. Making in the moment, it creates a frictionless highway along which your energy can travel unimpeded by hesitation. The plan does not pretend to know every outcome. It accepts that the road will bend, and where it bends, you bend with it, keeping your eye fixed on the destination you have chosen. This is not hardship for its own sake. It is clarity for your own sake. A clarity that frees your mind from the tyranny of ambiguity and leaves you with the confidence to move with speed when opportunity taps you on the shoulder. Decision is the door you walk through that signals your readiness to begin. In the theater of your life, decision is not a moment. It is a stance. It is the posture of a person who refuses division and delay. Decision snaps the hinge of possibility and commits you to a path that your future self can inhabit. Once you decide, the world begins to rearrange itself to accommodate the chosen course. Because decisions seed actions that over time seed results. You will falter. You may stumble into detours. You may be tempted by the comfort of the familiar. Yet decision is more than a single act. It is a consistent commitment to return to your chosen route, to re-choose when disintegration tempts you to abandon your plan, to realign when new information arrives that can strengthen your aim. The power of decision is not that it eliminates risk. It creates a new relationship with risk, one in which you meet risk with a prepared mind and a prepared heart, so that the fear of failure loses its grip and the fascination of achievement gains momentum. Specialized knowledge becomes your practical edge, the knowledge not merely of theories, but of the living craft required by your definite purpose. It is the patient accumulation of techniques, the art of learning how to do what your aim demands, the willingness to bow before truth when you must, and the courage to invite collaboration when it will accelerate growth. Specialized knowledge is not a trophy you display. It is a tool you wield. It is knowledge earned in the furnace of effort, tested in the crucible of experiments, refined by mentors whose insights cut through confusion, and expanded by peers whose questions force you to sharpen your own thinking. It is a living network you build, a lattice of ideas and skills that hold up your ambitions even when the winds of fortune shift. You do not pretend to know everything. You cultivate the discipline to know enough to keep moving, to fill gaps with the humility to seek help, and to translate that knowledge into actions that other people can witness and trust. Your subconscious mind, the quiet partner who sits in the wings while you perform on the stage of daily life, is the repository and the conductor of the transformation you seek. Thoughts, the raw material you feed into it, are transformed into habits, habits into character, and character into fate. The subconscious mind answers not to your questions, but to your repeated insistence on the truth you want to become. If you feed it with the language of certainty, it returns with the energy of confidence. If you feed it with the language of fear, it returns with hesitation, with half-hearted actions that betray your deepest intentions. The thoughts you cradle, especially those you sustain without attention, begin to melt into the fabric of your days, weaving themselves into the reality you experience. The transformation of thoughts into reality is not a mysterious wizardry. It is the disciplined operation of mental mechanics, the alignment of inner belief with outward action, the continuous practice of turning intention into effect. You exist at the intersection where your inner world shapes your outer world, and the more you tend that inward garden, the more your outer life bears fruit with a frequency that seems almost audible. Discipline turns chaos into power when you bring all these forces into a single, irresistible momentum. It is easy to imagine a life wherein you dabble in hope and convenience, to imagine that luck will decide your fate, to wait for some moment of dramatic revelation. It is far more powerful to decide that you will live in a world where your habits are the sculptor and your daily acts the chisel. Your habits, carefully tended in the soil of a definite purpose, become a garden where discipline grows and resilience blooms. The garden does not bloom in a week. It is cultivated through the long, patient work of consistent effort, through the quiet rituals of autosuggestion, through the collaborative energy of the mastermind, through the fearless practice of organized planning, through the relentless discipline of decision, through the ever-curious expansion of specialized knowledge, through the patient digestion of experiences by the subconscious mind, and through the continuous transformation of thoughts into action. You may be thinking, where is the moment of triumph? Where is the evidence that this approach yields power over chaos? The evidence is not a single thunderclap, but a series of sunrise sequences you create for yourself, one day at a time, one decision at a time, one habit at a time. The sunrise comes when you wake with a renewed sense of your definite purpose, and you choose to align every action of the day with that purpose. The triumph comes when you sit with a mentor in the mastermind, and you realize that a question you asked out of doubt becomes a doorway to insight that neither of you would have discovered alone. The power reveals itself in the quiet moments, when you choose to discipline your mind through autosuggestion, to feed it with truths that ensure your behavior is consistent with your best self. even when circumstances threaten to erode your resolve. Power reveals itself when faith does not merely comfort you, but energizes you to persevere when outcomes drag, when persistence is not a burden, but a continual upgrading of your capacity to bring your dream into daylight. In the furnace of this discipline, fear becomes a fog that you learn to see through. You do not pretend that fear does not exist. You recognize it as information about what matters to you, as a signal to prepare more thoroughly, to deepen your plan, to extend your knowledge, to widen your circle of trusted helpers through the mastermind so that the fog is pierced, not by bravado, but by preparation and precision. And when the fog clears just enough for you to glimpse the path again, you do not sprint wild-eyed into the unknown. You step with decisive calm. You check your organized plan. You lean on your specialized knowledge. You engage your subconscious mind to align your emotions with your intellect. And you move with a trust that your disciplined effort will yield the next clear step. Here is the truth you must own. Discipline is not a restriction that robs you of life. It is a passport that grants you access to dimensions of life you have always believed should be possible, but never believed you could realize. Discipline is the discipline of your thoughts as they become things. It is the discipline of your emotions as they become states you inhabit. It is the discipline of your time as it becomes the currency by which you buy the life you deserve. It is the discipline of your actions as they accumulate into your character. And it is your character that determines the quality of your opportunities, and ultimately, the shape of your destiny. The power you crave is not hidden in far away moments of luck. It is brewed in the daily rituals you consistently practice, in the courage to begin again after a setback, in the willingness to adjust your path without abandoning your aim, in the humility to learn more so you can apply, and in the generosity to share your gains so that your ascent becomes a gateway for others as well. Now, I invite you to an explicit personal pledge, one that you can whisper aloud in the quiet of your room or in the loudness of your workplace, one that binds your inner conviction to your outer behavior. Pledge that you will choose discipline as your governing force, and that you will apply it to every aspect of your life where chaos has previously reigned, in your time, in your finances, in your health, in your relationships, in your work, in your learning, in your dreams. Pledge to sharpen your definite purpose daily, to remind yourself why you exist within the storm and what mountain you will climb when the fog lifts. Pledge to cultivate a mastermind around you of people who will tell you the truth, who will challenge you to rise higher, who will lift you when you stumble, who will accelerate you with cooperation rather than draining you with friction. Pledge to discipline your autosuggestion so that your inner voice becomes a steady tutor rather than a fiery critic. Pledge to feed your faith with evidence of progress and with quiet victories that accumulate into a robust confidence that your path is not a fantasy, but a forecast you are actively delivering. Pledge to cultivate persistence as your daily practice, to greet each setback with a recommitment to effort, to stitch your days together with the thread of consistent action until the fabric of your life shows a pattern of victory. Pledge to unleash your imagination as a fearless designer of futures, to allow your mind to wander into the possible and then to pull it into the practical through disciplined experimentation and courageous risk within your organized planning. Pledge to accept organized planning as your natural mode of operation, a frictionless engine that converts ambition into steps, steps into momentum, momentum into achievement, to treat every decision as a doorway to a greater expression of your capability, to pursue specialized knowledge with the humility that knowledge is a living instrument that grows best when shared and sharpened with others, to honor the subconscious mind as the deep river that carries your habits to the sea of results, and to treat your thoughts as the raw material whose refinement determines whether your life will be a sculpture or a shadow. Discipline turns chaos into power, not by negating the power of chance, but by revealing a higher order beneath chance's surface, a pattern you can recognize, a system you can inhabit, a law you can apply. You have the power to become the person who can hold the line when the storm rages, to be the architect who designs a life that can withstand the fiercest winds. The structure you build is not a monument you admire from afar. It is a practical home you live in, a place where every room is aligned with the same essential principle. Discipline creates the conditions in which power grows, and power grows not by luck, but by the deliberate cultivation of the forces that govern your life. So now, as you stand with your feet planted in the earth and your eyes lifting toward a horizon you intend to own, I invite you to act with uncompromising urgency. Start with one clear commitment that touches your definite purpose today. Tell your mastermind partner what you intend to accomplish in the coming week and invite their accountability. Engage autosuggestion as a 10-minute evening ritual for the next 30 days, speaking your truth in the present tense as if you are already living it. Expand your knowledge in a way that respects your time, 1 hour a day of focused study, or 1 deliberate conversation with a mentor this week, that pushes your thinking to a new plane. Make the decision that launches your next phase, without asking permission from fear or from doubt. Schedule your day around your plan in a way that eliminates wasted minutes, in a manner that renders your time a currency you spend on outcomes you can measure. Pursue specialized knowledge, not as a badge to flash, but as a toolkit to wield. Watch your subconscious mind as you notice the subtle shifts in your emotions and actions as you align with your declared purpose. And finally, recognize that thoughts are the first bricks in the wall of your reality. Choose them with care, cultivate them with discipline, and you will watch the wall rise solid, unyielding, and yours. Discipline turns chaos into power, and with that power comes responsibility. The responsibility to exhale awe and inhale service, to climb so others may ascend with you, to demonstrate that the truth of a life by design is not a solitary victory, but a beacon that guides others who yearn for a similar transformation. When you choose this path, you are not stepping into a single moment of glory. You are embracing a continuous discipline of becoming day after day, through habit after habit, across seasons of struggle and seasons of triumph. You are not chasing some distant legend. You are creating a living legend within yourself, a cadence of action that will outlive your fatigue and outlast your fears, a testament to the power that discipline, carefully tended, precisely applied, relentlessly pursued, can wield. Discipline turns chaos into power, and you are the living proof, the hands that mold the raw material of potential into a structure of achieved possibility. Now step forward. Bring your definite purpose to the light of day and carry it into every room you enter. Let your mastermind circle you like a protective sky, offering gravity and lift. Perform autosuggestion with the calm ritual of a master craftsman shaping metal. What you hammer into your mind will hammer into your life. Move with faith that is not naïve but proven by your growing evidence of progress. Let persistence be your daily discipline, the unspoken vow that you will not retreat or surrender until your goal is not only achieved but surpassed. Let your imagination be the boundary, breaking force that sees not merely the path that exists, but the path that could exist if you dare to imagine it. Let organized planning be your frictionless engine, turning intent into action with the least resistance, letting you convert intention into reality with speed and precision. Let decision cut through ambiguity with the clean edge of certainty. Let specialized knowledge be built through purposeful study and generous collaboration, a living network that elevates your capacity to execute. Let the subconscious mind be your ally, your silent co-author who translates your daily discipline into durable results. Let your thoughts be tested under the furnace of reality until they become the standard that guides every other thought you will have. Discipline turns chaos into power. You have it within you to turn the wild, unpredictable energy of life into a controlled, focused, and unstoppable force. This is your moment to claim it, to live it, to demonstrate it, to become it. Start now. In the smallest way you can, with the most honest intention you can muster, a single commitment that aligns with your definite purpose, a conversation that invites accountability, a ritual that strengthens autosuggestion, a plan that reduces friction, a decision that commits you to action, a piece of knowledge you will pursue, a practice you will maintain with your subconscious mind, a habit you will cultivate in your thoughts. Do this and watch as chaos, no longer a threat but a raw material, begins to yield to the metallic ring of discipline, a sound you will come to recognize as the music of your own power being born. The door is there, open to those who have the courage to walk through it. Step into that doorway now and never step back, for discipline turns chaos into power, and you are ready to wield that power with clarity, integrity, and unstoppable momentum.